Hi everyone, it's Raina. So this video is if your natal Mercury is in conjunction with Venus. And I want to give a shout out to cafeastrology.com where I am using their some of their talking points and riffing off of them because it's just easier for me that way and it gives me a springboard. And one of the things that I want to say, if you are trying to understand different aspects in astrology, one of the easiest things to do is to substitute the planet that one planet is aspecting with a sign, and you will kind of get a better feel for it. So in this case, you could say this is like having Mercury in the sign of Libra. Now, that's because Venus rules Libra. However, Venus also rules Taurus, and I think a lot of the things that they're talking about here are more associated with Libra, because Libra is an air sign, and the strong sense of intellect and also the balance that Libra is associated with is really, I feel, what they're alluding to more than what Taurus represents. So I could be wrong about that, but I do think that this is more like having Mercury in Libra. And also, because Taurus is an earth sign, so that would be more concerned with the five senses. When you're talking about air, you're talking about something that is above it all, so to speak. So all of these kind of aesthetic things, really work well with Libra. But anyway, officially, we're saying that this is a conjunction between Mercury and Venus, and it doesn't matter what signs the conjunction are in, it's still going to produce a similar effect. So Mercury is communication, so it's how you speak to others. As we know, everyone doesn't communicate in the same way. Some people are rough around the edges. Some people use a lot of profanity. They don't have like a great command of their native language or any language, and they just seem to be very maybe they're very limited in how they speak, and other people may not react very well to the way that they communicate. People with this conjunction can be poetic, meaning that even if they're not trying to actually say something that's lyrical, it comes out just so elegantly, And so there's a term that is associated with this combination, and the person is very gracious, or we could say that they are very cultured, civilized, mannerly, courteous, those kinds of words. And the reason that this is important is because a lot of you probably have heard that phrase, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't realize how important it is to speak to others in a way that is pleasing. It doesn't have to be people pleasing. It just means that it has a certain kind of attractive quality to it. You're more likely to receive cooperation for whatever it is that you're trying to obtain. And so if you have this combination, this comes naturally to you. And that means that you probably get other people to cooperate with what you want, and that can give you success in life. Also, you may be a very sociable person. You may actually enjoy socializing because you probably enjoy other people's points of view. You're very this combination can see different points of view, which is why it can be hard to make decisions, because when a person can see multiple roads for themselves, timelines, and even when they're dealing with other people, it can feel very overwhelming, and so this is one of the things that Libra as a sign tends to struggle with as well, is being indecisive. So one of the reasons why I also think that they mention this is because Mercury is about the thoughts that you have. And so when you're deciding something, obviously that has to do with your thoughts. Now, in terms of, this is one of the things that I've really come to realize recently when I've been doing astrological videos, is that Mercury and the moon, to me, are almost interchangeable in how they ultimately process emotions. Well, maybe not process them. We might say that the moon produces emotion and Mercury processes it, but they're both connected to emotions. We know that the moon is, but some people don't realize or don't think of Mercury or the mind as having anything to do with emotions. But if you think about it, memories that you have can trigger emotions. This is what Eckhart Tolle talks about a lot as it pertains to the mind and how it can torment people with thoughts that produce unhappiness. So again, with the mental triggers and how they generate emotion. So with this conjunction specifically, we're talking about, with Venus, we're talking about romance, for instance. And so this can be intellectualizing love. Now, they say feelings, but I would say specifically as it pertains to relationship and love, love in general. And they do mention those two things, but I think that is specifically where that will occur, because Venus specializes in that. And so the idea of intellectualizing things means that there is a distance between feeling and actual emotion, and maybe even a substitute at times where somebody is talking about their feelings, but are they really feeling them? So if you find that this is true when you get involved with somebody romantically, then it could be because of this conjunction. This could definitely be a person who is attracted to brainy, intellectual types. So people automatically think that somebody is attracted to another person because they are, good looking, hot, whatever. But there are some people that really are attracted to another person's mind. Or I would even say that they find, like, for instance, some men are attracted to women who wear glasses, who look like they're intelligent. They might be, hot too, but they wear glasses, or something like that. And I'm sure there's a male equivalent for women to be attracted to men, or people of the same sex too, I suppose, anybody. And that idea is, a lot of people, can't understand why somebody would be attracted to somebody who's maybe even a bit nerdy, but that's because they really love their mind. And that's what Venus is about, attraction. And the other side of things, and this is very interesting, is that if your conjunction is afflicted, in other words, if it has hard angles attached to it, you could you could find yourself consistently attracting con artists, because that kind of slick, fast talk, well, I don't know about fast talking, but smooth talking kind of person, that's what a con artist is. Well, this combination is kind of like that. It's like kind of a smooth talker, smooth operator. I was thinking of that song. But yeah, so that could be what you tend to attract, and that would be on the challenging side. Now, the other thing too, when it comes to dealing with other people, is that you have this gift of being able to make another person feel like you are totally into them and that you understand them and everything. And I think that I didn't see anything here. I probably didn't read it like word for word here. To me, this is very much what I think of when I think of a politician, because I can't remember who it was, but there are some politicians who they see all these people when they're kind of campaigning or what have you, and they make a person feel like they're the only person in the room because they're like tuning into people. And that's kind of what this combination can be like. And other people can feel like they are being heard. And but they also say that because of that, there can be this sense of superficiality, because you're so able to do that with, all the people that you deal with, that maybe you come across as insincere because of that. And I think that there is some truth to that, because people are not interchangeable, and we don't always agree with everyone, and we don't always resonate with every person that we come across. So if somebody has that ability to do that with multiple people, they are going to be seen as slick to some degree. And that, who cares if that's how other people see you? That's one thing. Now, I will say personally that if your conjunction is in Gemini, this may really be a thing, because Gemini is a mutable sign as well, which means it's very flexible and it's capable of morphing into what somebody wants. Now, I could say the same thing about Pisces, even though it's a water sign, it is a mutable sign, and there's like a chameleon-like effect. And so in those particular cases, there may be the ability to kind of like tailor your message for the person you're with. And I think that, all human beings do this to some extent. We don't necessarily talk to everybody that we come across in the same way. But some people do it more than others. So I definitely, if you do have this conjunction in Gemini, I would definitely, reflect upon how you communicate, whether it is deep enough or whether or not you're just trying to kind of like charm people. And maybe it's for your own benefit, but it's not necessarily sincere, because we do want to be sincere in our communication, even as we are being very charming or agreeable. It doesn't, these things are not mutually exclusive. You can be polite and also authentic. And I would say the same thing if your conjunction is in Libra, that people pleasing tendency, that's really enhanced with this combination because Libra is ruled by Venus, and this is exactly what I was referring to. Um, but here's an example. If your conjunction is in Aries, for instance, Aries can be rough around the edges and can be too blunt, and very brusque, meaning kind of like abrupt and impatient, and this will give that person more elan or charm or grace. So that is important because um, you know in and of itself, somebody with Mercury in Aries might be a bit they might ruffle feathers and rub people the wrong way. Another thing is what you might be talented at. It shouldn't be surprising to you that you may be a great public speaker. Writing may come easy to you, and um, I would say I don't see it here, but even the actual voice, I would think might have a pleasant tone to it. So ASMR, anyone? That might be something that is a natural. And you may enjoy, um, you know, any kind of activity that involves, art appreciation in the form of writing, literature, but also they talk about spoken words. So I'm assuming like poetry, hearing poetry, going to poetry readings and things like that. And they mention puns, which is, that's punny. Um, Gemini, if this isn't Gemini, that's, definitely the case. But I would say even Libra, because Oscar Wilde was really great with wordplay, and he had his son in Libra, and just being a great conversationalist. This is actually one of the best things is that you probably enjoy conversations. It's one thing um, to just love to hear yourself talk, but if you're actually eloquent, so you speak with a certain graciousness, other people will enjoy hearing you. I think all of us know people, we would say in the public eye, who have a great turn of the phrase, who know how to put things in a way that is just very elegant. It's poetic, that kind of thing. Now, one of the things that can be challenging for you is if you have a partner who is very offensive in how they communicate, that would be problematic for you because and this sometimes people ask me, well, does the moon do this or other things? When you're talking about personal planets, sometimes they are not interchangeable, but they're going to have similar themes if they're in the same sign. So you will see this theme with people who have the sun in Libra or the moon in Libra, where they, or Venus in Libra, where they really appreciate others who are socially adept, who don't, turn people off with their coarse behavior. And in this case, we're talking about communication style. So, another thing that's funny is that, and they also talk about that for partners, you like somebody who appreciates appreciates the arts like you do. See, I think I have a sextile between Mercury and Venus. So there's which is actually a nice angle. So there you go. There's an example of that. Um, but here, so somebody who appreciates art, or if they have talents in art, and if you have talents, then you have that in common. But the funny thing is that they're talking about sex, which seemed out of left field to me. I don't see why. But they said that, you have the ability to discuss it with ease with your partner. Oh, well, maybe Venus has something to do about sex, I guess, in some ways. But then they were talking about, I'll just read it verbatim. Verbal expression during sex can be very stimulating for you. A lover who doesn't communicate or who is quiet in bed may not be very satisfying for you in the long haul. Okay, so there you go. But anyway, I hope that this resonated with you. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.